Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is a prophecy report for the first week in November 2022. Evil people are killing freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom to buy and sell, freedom to own property, independence, democracy, Christian values, because Satan has convinced them that they can build back better a society without these things. Evil people are killing the world in a very painful and unpleasant way. Jesus said it will be worse than anything that has ever happened or ever will happen, and the world will never recover until he comes back and builds it back his way. Concerning food shortages and famine, on October 27th, it was reported that BASF, the world's largest producer of fertilizer and chemicals, will as quickly as possible and permanently downsize its operations in Europe because of high energy prices and burdensome regulations. Energy officials in the UK recently warned citizens to prepare for rolling power cuts between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. in January and February 2023. Concerning world government, 2017, Klaus Schwab, head of the World Economic Forum, boasted that his organization had infiltrated several governments, and he specifically mentioned Canada and Germany. On October 25th, Alberta, Canada's new Premier Danielle Smith said, quote, "I guess I find it distasteful when billionaires brag about how much control they have over political parties, as the head of that organization has, and I think that that is offensive." Concerning world government, on October 27th, The New American posted an article by Alex Newman about the COP27 meeting that will be in Egypt in mid-November. Selected climate change representatives from almost 200 nations, the World Economic Forum, big business, and others will attend, and the three biggest issues will most likely be who is going to pay how much to fight climate change over all the world, how the war against climate change can be used to advance world government, and how to advance the war against farmers to increase global control of the world's food production. For one thing, it appears to be a global wealth redistribution scheme to transfer massive amounts of money from developed nations to underdeveloped nations. Biden's climate czar, John Kerry, has already expressed his opinion that U.S. taxpayers will hand over a large amount of money. Kerry also hinted that there are U.S. industries, such as fossil fuel industry, for example, that globalists and the UN want to destroy. Even though some nations are already facing inflation, food shortages, energy shortages, loss of jobs, many have leaders that are ignoring the suffering of their people and pledging to step up their war against climate change. It is too early to predict what decisions will be made, but one can expect everything to be in favor of the global elite and nothing to be in favor of the U.S. taxpayers. Concerning the fulfillment of Bible prophecy shortly before the second coming of Jesus, on October 28th, Harbinger's Daily posted an excellent article by Ken Mickle that says, "The Bible tells us that four things will be in place right before the return of Christ, and these things appear to be coming together perfectly. A one-world global government. Number two, a global economic system, a way to buy, sell, and trade, the beast system. Number three, a global dictator, the Bible calls the Antichrist. And number four, a global false religion, the Bible calls the false prophet." According to Mickle, this system, he calls it the beast system, is already up and running. The only step left is implementing it. Concerning the decline of America, on October 25th, Saudi Arabia's energy minister accused an unnamed nation, he was clearly talking about the U.S., of manipulating the markets by selling oil that had been set aside for an emergency. The Saudi energy minister added, quote, "It is my profound duty to make it clear to the world that losing emergency stock may become painful in the months to come. Biden has sold millions of barrels of oil from America's strategic petroleum reserves, and the Saudi energy minister had it right. selling America's emergency oil to lower gas prices and win votes in an election could harm America in the future. Concerning natural disasters and famine, on October 26th, data released by the National Drought Information System, 60% of the north central U.S. is in moderate to exceptional drought. 30% of that area is in severe drought or worse. The water level in the Mississippi, Missouri, and Ohio rivers is at record level lows, and shipping is hindered in some areas. Out west, the Colorado River has been described as dangerously low. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the wheat, corn, and soybean harvest will be much lower than expected. Concerning distress of nations, inflation, and economic collapse, it has been reported that tens of thousands of people demonstrated in several cities in Germany on October 30th to protest the sanctions on Russia that are causing record high inflation, 10.7%, and the destruction of Germany's economy. Finally, are you rapture ready?